I've leased this pond for 7 years. From a few dozen acres of stinky ponds to hundreds of acres of giant fishing grounds, turning a suburban swamp into what's known among anglers nationwide as the famous giant fish sanctuary. Even though the pond owner raised the rent every year, I put up with it because moving would be a hassle. But little did I know, after his son took over, seeing hundreds of fishermen coming in and out every day, felt he was getting the short end of the stick. During the peak giant fish carnival season, he suddenly cut the power, and even demanded that each fish pay an extra 2 cents in oxygen fee every day. Every fisherman pays $10 a day in trampling fee. Not a penny less, or he'd cut the power.
This pond here, 300 acres, $6,000 a year. You handle your own water and electricity. Buy your own aerator. Deal?
Mr. Thorne, the silt is too thick. We need to dredge the pond, add an aerator, and a circulation system. Minimum investment of $30,000. In the first year, we might not even recoup the cost. But we still want to do it.
Arthur, I can see you young people have drive. $6,000 is too high. I'll let you have this pond for $5,000 as a discount.
Work hard. I was genuinely grateful to him at the time. Even though that pond would flood every time it rained heavily, even though the aerator often broke down, requiring us to jump in and stir the water manually. The core team of Blue Ocean Fishery, in that tin shed filled with the smell of fish and cheap feed. We developed our first generation of cold water giant fish artificial breeding system. That was the first cold water giant fish we successfully bred. Its father was a taiman brought from the Northern Highlands. In waters over 20 degrees Celsius, it normally wouldn't survive a week. But this fry lived for a full 3 months at room temperature. And it's still growing. Over the next 7 years, Blue Ocean Fishery went through rapid expansion. Our cold water giant fish breeding technology achieved explosive breakthroughs, landing Series A, B, and even C funding. The fishery grew from tens of acres to 300, with 12 fishing zones and nearly 20,000 cold water giant fish. As Blue Ocean expanded, this once desolate suburb got a shot of adrenaline and fully came alive. Hundreds of anglers flocked in from all over every day. Tackle shops, angler food stalls, fish processors, auto repair shops, and small inns quickly filled the area. On weekends, its bustle rivaled popular tourist spots. Mr. Thorne Sr., he saw all of this, of course. The kindness in his eyes was slowly replaced by a merchant's greed. Thorne's demands get bigger every single year. 3rd year, he hiked the rent 10%, 5th year, up 20%. Then last year, he just slapped on another 35%.
Mr. Vance, look how busy this place is now. If I put this pond on the market, folks would line up to snap it up.
Mr. Thorne, you know how this crowd got here? You don't know? If Blue Ocean pulls out, see how many of those tackle shops and food stands are still standing.
I've crunched the numbers, clear as day. A fishery on the rise can't afford to waste a single day. Moving now means 20,000 fish to relocate, new water to adapt to, and worst of all, the stress risk to the giant breeding fish. All that together costs way more than his little rent hike.
Mr. Vance, this is highway robbery.
Frank, we're not paying for the pond itself. We're paying for our own rhythm and time. My giving in got Blue Ocean through the carnival season without a hitch. But to Thorne, that sent a clear message. Blue Ocean's a fat sheep tied to this pond. Slaughter it any way you want, it won't even bleat. 2 weeks later, Richard Thorne had a stroke and ended up in the hospital. The guy taking over the management and ownership of this pond was his son Victor, who'd just gotten back from out of town. Victor, back from his time away, barged into the fishery office on his first day. He didn't have his father's tact. His eyes were full of the arrogance of someone who'd never been knocked down. I did some digging. My dad was way too nice to you guys. Your employees have been using the bait warehouse for free every day, and all those cars of the anglers have wrecked the pond embankment, leaving it full of ruts. From today on, I'm charging market rent for the warehouse and doubling the parking fee for outside vehicles. I looked at him like he was a complete joke. The giant fish carnival season is almost here. I don't want to mess with him at a time like this. Sure. Rent for the bait warehouse comes out of the operating account. We cover the parking fee for the anglers.
Vance doesn't even dare to make a peep. This so-called fishery, worth $240 million? I raise it whenever I feel like it. He just nods obediently.
Victor, here's to you. Exactly.
My easygoingness made him completely full of himself. He was bragging all through dinner, saying he had the owner of Blue Ocean Fishery wrapped around his finger. The carnival season opening ceremony is less than 3 hours away.
What's going on?
Director Frank, backup generator's already running. But it'll only last 40 minutes, tops. If power's not back soon, the water temp will start climbing within an hour. All 20,000 cold water fish will show stress-induced surfacing. Ironback, the 260-pounder, is already acting up. Sorry about that, Mr. Vance. Old wiring tripped the power.
You know, if we cut off the oxygen for 1 minute, how many fish in our pond would die?
Your loss. Not my problem. But hey, I could still call workers for emergency repairs at midnight. But lately, I've been feeling like I'm getting the short end of the stick. You've got about 20,000 fish in that pond. Every single fish breathes in my water every day. They're sucking all the oxygen right out of my water. So I'm charging 2 cents per fish per day as an oxygen fee. 20,000 fish, that's $400 a day, $12,000 a month. Over $140,000 a year. Going back 2 years, that's $240,000. Plus, every day, hundreds of fishermen trample my pond embankment. They've worn the path down. $10 per person per day as a trampling fee. If you're short even a cent on these 2 fees, you're not getting near that power distribution room today.
Frank was livid, ready to fight. The key technicians were also seeing red.
Those 63 giant fish are their whole world. Victor is cutting off their lifeline. Everyone back off. $240,000, charge it. But I need an invoice. Make sure it's itemized. Oxygen fee and pond trampling fee. For every day, every fish, every person. Write it all down, line by line. I want Victor Thorne's signature on it. Okay, no problem. The next morning, sunlight pours into Blue Ocean Fishery. There's no joy in the air for the carnival season's opening. The photo of that invoice for $240,000, with the item column showing the oxygen fee and pond trampling fee, spread through every employee and angler group at Blue Ocean Fishery. Everyone was in an uproar.
Mr. Vance didn't say a word. He just swiped his card and paid. It's so frustrating. We're busting our butts raising these fish, and someone pulls the power switch. Almost all the fish in the pond went belly up. The boss doesn't even have the guts to protect us.
I heard that guy brags to everyone, saying Blue Ocean Fishery is his personal money printer. The boss is such a wimp.
What if they pull the switch again? Who's gonna come next time? What if they do it again while we're fishing?
I booked a spot for next week. Now I want to cancel.
Cancel it. Cancel it. Go somewhere else. I don't want to have a heart attack before I even catch a fish.
Resentment and disappointment are spreading like weeds among the staff and anglers. I won't take this lying down. $240,000 is enough for him to face extortion charges. I'm taking our legal team to file a police report right now. I'll make sure he goes to jail.
Mr. Vance, last night, you were just trying to save those 20,000 fish, I get it. But the carnival season kicked off today. The QUAC cultation giant fish are stable too. Now the whole fishery knows about it. What do the employees think of us? What do the anglers think of us? They all think we're pushovers.
Simon, I bet the moment the police leave, Victor will accidentally pour a bottle of herbicide into the giant fish pond. Or accidentally cut our water supply pipe. If legal sues him for extortion, he can spin it as a contract fee dispute in 1,000 ways. At most, he just refunds the money, and that's it. But during these months of back and forth, he'll still be holding onto our power distribution room, pump room, and water inlet. Frank, look, I paid $240,000 last night. Was that to save face? I was buying time. So the 20,000 fish in our pond could live safely through the busiest days of the carnival season. In this fish farming business, we're not afraid of greedy people. We're afraid of stupid ones. With greedy people, you can negotiate, satisfy them with money. Victor wasn't just after a few $100s in daily oxygen fees when he rushed to pull the switch on 20,000 cold water fish. He had no idea what would happen when he pulled that switch. 63 giant fish, each over 200 pounds. If they die from stress, they'll destroy our hard-earned breeding gene pool. It's like a gorilla, holding a bottle of potent pesticide, running around our giant fish pond. The scariest part isn't that it's trying to steal your fish. It's that it has no idea that pouring that poison into the water would cause such consequences. This isn't cowardice. This is risk control. That speech was like a bucket of cold water, dousing the anger in everyone's heads. Once the fire was out, what rushed in was a sense of terror.
He's got a point. We really can't stay here anymore. But Mr. Vance, with 20,000 fish and all that equipment, even if we find a new place to set up the water system and install equipment, it'll take at least 6 months.
Simon, open it and take a look. It started a year ago when Mr. Thorne Sr. raised our rent by 25%. I knew then that this pond would sooner or later become a noose around our necks. So during the Series B funding, I set aside a separate sum in the Cold Water Resources Reserve with the best policies and secured the operating rights for a 500-acre natural lake. I never mentioned it, because moving would mess up the fishery's rhythm too much. I was waiting for the perfect moment, or rather, a reason that forced us to leave. Now, Victor has handed us that reason. Simon, activate Plan B, contact the only live rare aquatic species transport company in the country. Everyone signs a non-disclosure agreement. Friday night, the carnival season wraps up. When the bell rings, we start the operation. Within 48 hours, 20,000 fish will pull off the epic migration they'll never see coming. Next Monday at 9 a.m., all circulation systems at the new base will be up. All the giant fish will start feeding in the new waters. As for this pond, strip it of every fish and shrimp, and don't leave him a single feeder fish.
Got it. Let's screw him over.
Mr. Vance, are we really just going to feed that money to the fish? No fish food in the world is that expensive. Get legal to prepare the lawsuit. That itemized invoice is perfectly clear. It's the death warrant he signed himself. Only the core members know that. The epic migration is about to kick off in a few hours. Mr. Thorne, the money's in your account now.
Mr. Vance gave his orders. We're all just here for the money. We'll count on your support going forward. Here's the invoice.
Oh, by the way, Mr. Thorne, there are also a few maintenance issues to report. The aerator in Pond 7 is making a funny noise. And some valves are leaking. Could you have someone come take a look? RKICH Liff, if you'd been smart earlier, this would have been over. Alright. I'll send someone this afternoon to fix it. Tell Mr. Vance to play by the rules. I'm easygoing. Now get out. This facade of extreme compliance totally fed Victor's arrogance. He didn't have even a shred of doubt.
Area's clear, Mr. Vance. I gave some booze to the patrol guards, so they won't be coming around tonight.
Let's move. Pro fish relocation workers. All cell phones were confiscated before boarding. Everyone signed a tight NDA. To minimize risk, we installed low-brightness LED strips ahead of time. Just enough light to work by, completely invisible from far away. The 12 fishing zones were netted in batches on schedule, but the whole operation's make-or-break moment was Frank himself taking charge of the giant fish pond. 63 taimen, each over 220 pounds, and every single one had to be moved individually. Dissolved oxygen 7, water temperature 26, pH stable, error within 0.1. Ironbacks in the tank, vitals stable. The whole time, the fishery was dead quiet, even the frogs shut up. Everyone was holding their breath. The intense thrill of being right under the enemy's nose and secretly swiping their trump card made every corps member's eyes gleam in the dark.
Yo Victor, I heard you took down that blue ocean fishery, worth over $200 million, and taught them a lesson.
What a crappy giant fish fishery. Giant fish fishery. Giant fish, fishery. On my turf, even dragons have to bow down. You guys should have seen Vance's cowardly face that night. I cut his power. I asked for $240,000. He didn't say a word, just pulled out his black card and swiped it. Didn't even dare to make a sound.
Victor's a legend. Making tens of thousands of dollars a day just lying around. Even a money printer can't catch up to you. What do those fish farmers know? Just a word from Victor, and it's done.
$240,000. That's chump change. We're just getting started. Those fish farmers are lambs to the slaughter. Next month, the oxygen fee doubles. The trampling fee will be $20 per person. If they dare move those tens of thousands of fish, not a single one will survive. And they'll have to pay my pond cleaning fee on top of that.
Victor, you're awesome. Victor, you're the man. Victor, you're a beast. Ha 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 ha.
He has no idea that just 6 miles away at the fishery, the lamb he's eyeing is slowly draining his blood vessels one by one. Water temperature, 62 degrees Fahrenheit. Saturday at 3 a.m. The last truck carrying ironback
Water
left
temperature,
pond 61.8 whole hours, degrees Fahrenheit. Used to be a monster fish paradise, packed with people. Now, just bare pond embankments remain. A dead, empty water surface. Like a huge hollow shell drained of blood. I stood on the highest pond embankment. The damp morning breeze hit my face. Strangely, I wasn't tired at all. In fact, I was more alert than ever.
Mr. Vance, everything's loaded. The new base is ready to receive. By noon tomorrow, all the giant fish should be in the lake.
Let's go. 7 years. This water remembers my rise and my glory. It also buried me and this fishery, along with our last shred of innocence. These 2 thin sheets of paper in this dead, silent dawn are like 2 quiet, fatal death warrants.
Mr. Vance, we're all set.
Tell the convoy to move out. The convoy slipped away silently, leaving only an empty pond, waiting for Monday morning, and the man destined to break down. Monday morning. Everything's up and running at the new base. Systems running normal. All giant fish are stable. They've all adapted to the new waters.
Mr. Vance, the quality on this fish is even better than what we saw at the old pond.
No surprises. The Series B round, valued at $240 million, went through without a hitch. Meanwhile, 12 miles away at Thorn Pond, legal director David and two lawyers were standing right on time at the door of the pondside office. Those bastard fish farmers better pay me next month's oxygen fee today.
Where are the fish? Where is everyone? Where the hell did they all go? How dare you skip town overnight?
Good morning, Mr. Thorne.
Oh, you want to play dirty, huh? Moving out overnight, huh? This is a serious breach of contract. You won't see a penny of that $1 million deposit. I swear I'll take you to court.
I'll sue you till you're left in your underwear. Mr. Thorne, you can keep the deposit. Here's a copy of the complaint. We've officially sued the management of Thorn Pond and you personally. $7,600,000. Are you crazy or just broke? You're desperate for money, aren't you? Last Thursday night, fully aware of our nationally watched carnival season event, you maliciously cut the power to the oxygenation system and used that to extort a huge ransom. Mr. Vance paid the $240,000, but that wasn't giving in, it was to gather evidence. The oxygen cutoff caused severe stress in 63 giant fish, and the subsequent emergency transport led to professional fees, stress-related costs, plus irreversible damage to some giant fish from the transport delays. The direct economic loss is estimated at $7,600,000. More importantly, you're extorting $240,000 by cutting the oxygen. Is suspected of constituting the crime of sabotaging production and operations, and extortion with an especially huge amount. The criminal complaint materials were handed over to the City Enforcement Bureau this morning. Mr. Thorne, your problem now isn't about how much you'll pay in damages. It's about the next 10 years or more, and which prison you'll be spending them in. Until this moment, his ridiculous fantasy of being a tyrant was finally shattered by cold reality. He finally realized what he thought was a pushover ended up being a steel beast that could crush him at any moment. No way. You're framing me. Just collecting pond rent. My dad is Richard Thorne. You can't do this to me. Mr. Vance asked me to give you a message.
Thank you for shutting off the power on Thursday night.
It made us decide to clear Blue Ocean Fishery's path of development.
Of its biggest obstacle.
Hope you enjoy the lawsuit ahead. I was in the surveillance room at the new base, and listened to David's briefing. There was no joy of victory, just the relief of finally cutting out the cancer. But I knew very well, a $7,600,000 claim plus criminal charges was just the first appetizer I gave Victor. The real destruction doesn't require my hand. When you drain the area's only living water source, the whole ecosystem, all 12 fishing zones, goes empty and starts to devour itself. Thorn Pond stands all alone. That once crowded mecca for giant fish, its end has only just begun. Old Ma's Tackle Shop is at the best spot by the pond. Over the past 7 years, anglers from all over the country made up almost 90% of his store's revenue. At its peak, he could sell hundreds of packs of bait and dozens of rods a day. By the end of the first week, panic had fully set in. When the devastating financial reports were put right in front of them, they finally realized that Blue Ocean Fishery was gone for good. The $7,600,000 in damages and the subpoena from the Economic Crime Investigation Unit have kept him from getting a good night's sleep for an entire week.
Mr. Thorne, can we postpone the rent till next month?
In your dreams.
We're not trying to default. There's nobody at the pond. Our revenue can't even cover the electricity bill, and you're still charging us peak season prices. We really can't survive this.
Blue Ocean Fishery bailed. You're not making money 'cause you're useless. The contract is in black and white.
And now you're crying poor to me?
Pay up now.
Don't even think about shorting me a single. I'll shut off your water and power right away.
Mr. Thorne, the pond is this empty now.
If we all leave, this place will become a ghost pond for real.
Get out, all of you, get out. So you want to leave? Fine.
Then get the hell out. As for your deposit and 6 months prepaid rent, you won't get a single penny back. I don't believe that with this location, without you broke shop owners.
I can't find new tenants.
In business, cutting losses is always more important than toughing it out. That night, a massive migration unfolded, following Blue Ocean Fisheries' lead. There's no temperature-controlled transport fleet. The merchants just brought in minivans and small trucks. They'd rather give up the tens of thousands of dollars in deposits than stay on this sinking ship a moment longer. The cost of staying and losing even more is far greater than giving up the deposit. Vacancy rates over 90% now. Most of the snack streets around here have shut down too.
Victor tried to be a vampire, but ended up slashing his own artery.
It's just a flesh wound. The real fatal blow is not in the pond, but in the bank.
Mr. Vance, Thorn Pond's cash flow is gone. This time, Victor's own stupidity is gonna ruin him. When Richard Thorne acquired that land back then, AQA Culture, it was already saddled with a bank development loan. Then Blue Ocean moved in, the pond was fully leased, and the valuation shot up, so Richard Thorne took out a second mortgage on the pond with the bank, pulled out a ton of cash to buy his son a villa and fancy cars. When the bank evaluates the collateral, there are only two key indicators, occupancy rate and rental yield. Once we pull out, the vacancy rate will shoot up to over 90%. Rental income drops to zero. To the bank, that's no longer a pond. It's a ticking time bomb of bad debt.
The bank's inspector came by, stood by the empty pond, and didn't even step into the office. He just stayed in his car and called the branch manager. That very day, the loan extension got rejected, and a notice to recall the loan early was issued immediately. For Victor, who's got no other income, this is essentially a death sentence. Victor's totally lost it. He's calling everyone he knows to borrow money. Those nightclub buddies who used to call him Victor and say he's the man, are now avoiding him like the plague, either turning off their phones or blocking him. He's trying to rent out his empty shops cheaper. But word's already spread in the fishing circle that Thorn Pond crossed Blue Ocean Fishery, and they're being sued for $7,600,000. Plus, criminal charges are being filed. No legitimate business owner would dare get involved now. He's forced to put his BMW X6, bought less than 2 months ago, on the used car market for $50,000 below market price. The car dealer sees he's desperate, and cuts another $20,000. The money from the sale goes to pay the interest, only to find it's a drop in the bucket. Next, his personal accounts get frozen, and all his credit cards are cut off. A pre-lawsuit property preservation notice arrives from the court. The villa where he used to party all night gets sealed with an official notice. Once the financial meat grinder starts, the trust fund kid who only knows how to collect rent won't have a dime to his name.
Mr. Vance, there are 2 people at the gate insisting on seeing you. They don't have an appointment. They're carrying gift boxes. They refuse to leave no matter what.
Mr. Thorne Sr., Richard Thorne, looked like a withered autumn leaf. And Victor Thorne, that once rich kid in a designer tee with a cigar in his mouth, had turned into a greasy-haired, hollow-eyed, down-and-out young man. They had finally set aside all their ridiculous pride and come to beg for my mercy. Simon, go to the gate and handle it. You know what to say. Mr. Hayes. Mr. Hayes. It's me, Victor. Please, just let me see him. Mr. Vance, we'll refund all the oxygen fees, and the deposit too. We'll pay the penalty. Please, Mr. Vance, have some mercy. Just sign the withdrawal agreement. Otherwise, I'll go to jail.
Mr. Hayes, for old time's sake, since I gave you a discount on Thorn Pond, let me bow to Mr. Vance in person. I failed to raise my son right. I'm a jerk. Mr. Thorn, Mr. Vance is in a meeting. He doesn't have time to see you.
Mr. Vance said, you helped out Blue Ocean Fishery when it was just starting, and we're grateful. So for the past 7 years, the rent, which was way above market rate, we paid every penny without complaint. That goodwill, we've long repaid in cold, hard cash. But your precious son, for a measly $1,000 or so a day in oxygen fees, cut off the oxygenation system for 20,000 cold water fish. This shows that you completely lack the basic integrity to serve businesses and clients. And you have even less respect for living creatures. That $240,000 was the last tuition we paid. As for the $7,600,000 in damages and criminal charges, that's the tuition you owe us. You two, please go back. This is Blue Ocean Fishery. This isn't a shelter.
Mr. Hayes, please don't go. I messed up. I really know I was wrong.
You're not authorized. Please leave the restricted area.
These waters don't believe in tears. All the arrogance and stupidity will eventually, in the face of absolute power, sink to the bottom.